Howdy, friends and floorheads. Episode 6. Now, if you watched episode 5 live or tried to watch the replay, you missed about an hour and 20 minutes of some of the best role playing I've been a part of. Unfortunately, I've been having streaming problems. Hopefully, they're fixed. We'll cross our fingers. But we think we need to bring you up to speed. So, when we last left you, we realized we were in the morgue and Riot's grandmother stood up. And that became the beginning of a bunch of crazy shit. So I will hand it over to Kevin to bring us up to speed.
Yeah. So the grandmother stood up and she was talking, and you know what? I think, Riot, I'll let you give some of this. We found out something incredibly important about your grandmother, didn't we?
We did. My grandmother was killed in a hit and run. No one stopped to call the ambulance.
Yeah.
And there are some accusations flying around.
Yeah. And I don't think you realized what was going on until earlier when you happened to see grandmother hit on a flashback
Mm-hmm.
by Tony and Jess. So that led to some rather intense role playing and some rather intense accusations and arguments. And I thought maybe the game was over for a few minutes, but we got it back under control.
Thanks to
Uh,
Godbinder.
yeah, yeah. Godbinder, would you like to explain your role in this?
I mean, I think, Flynn is just, as always, trying to be, yes, we all did some horrible things. We can get past them. We saw at one point that Riot had apparently, there were signs that Riot had been engaging in some self harm. And Flynn offered to heal some of those scars, which I think was seemed like it was pretty meaningful.
It was a star moment for all of us.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
And so we at least got together enough to make our way back out into the school.
Yeah. There were a couple of incidents, one featuring a punk band of skeletons with mohawks dressed like orderlies that were quickly dispatched. And then, like Flynn mentioned, we met back in the rotunda again. There was one area left, and that was the school office. So we entered the school office, and it looked more like you were entering into a lobby for possibly a rehabilitation hospital. It's a pretty emotional scene. Um, Jess slash Freya was asked to sign self in, and it was interesting that they got to read part of Sherry's diary where Sherry talks about the relationship and how she was confused by it, didn't know what it meant, um, but she was just going to kind of go with the flow. That led to, when Freya was being taken back into the area to be admitted, Riot of all people, I believe you escorted Freya back in there, didn't you? Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
Hospitals are not unfamiliar to Riot.
no.
True.
And then the scene changed. It changed to more of a holding cell where people were being accused of, giving Sherry the drugs that killed her. And shortly after that, it just kind of built to a crescendo. And one by one, each of you were transported by Scott to where you were during the funeral. And that's honestly where we're going to take up today. So, did I miss anything important? All right. Somewhere right now, Sherry's being buried. Tony is not there. Tony is here. The buzzer just sounded. The gymnasium is full of noise. The crowd's on their feet. The team, they're mobbing each other out at the center court. The trophy's already making its way toward you through a forest of reaching hands. This is the moment, Tony. This is the one you were built for. The one the old man has been pointing you toward since you were old enough to hold a ball. You can see him up in the stands from here, red-faced standing, bellowing out something you can't quite hear over the roar. For once in your life, his smile might actually be pride. Tony, you hold the trophy. The gym lights are so bright. Everyone's looking at you. This is enough. This is more than enough. This is worth everything it cost. Tony, at this moment, right now, how are you feeling?
I don't want it to stop. And just everything at once. Everybody's there. Everybody's lifting me up after not being lifted up by my family, my friends, anybody. I feel like I'm finally getting credit for not only all of my hard work, but what I've endured. Most of that in silence. What I have to deal with at home, and the peer pressures, the sacrifices I had to make with friendships to be in the right group at the right time. And then seeing Dad, I mean, I want to freeze things. I want this moment burned into my brain, and I'm doing everything I can to be present and just take it all in. And the first sign that that's not going to happen is when my father just sits back down. And I feel like no, that wasn't long enough. I need you standing longer. I need you smiling at me longer. I see some of the people leaving early, even though we haven't really done the trophy ceremony yet and stuff. And that makes me mad. And I don't think I realized it then, but reliving it now, I also need to not remember other things, because I know when this goes away, I've got everything else doesn't go away. So the ghosts, the sacrifices, I know that when I get home, Dad's going to start talking about college. And I need this to keep going.
You know, Tony, there's a slight change in things. You know, some people are leaving, but the crowd noise, it doesn't stop. And I think that's the first thing you notice, is that it just doesn't stop. It's almost like they hit a certain pitch, and it's a sustained note. And to be clear, this is the Tony in the die world who's noticing this.
Mm.
And you realize after a moment that no one in the stands is moving anymore. They're frozen mid-cheer. Their mouths are open, their arms are raised, faces locked in an expression of adoration, so total, so still. I mean, honestly, it's creepy. The teammates around you, they've stopped moving too. And now the clock, it reads 0. But the scoreboard's changed. Her name appears on one side of the scoreboard and yours on the other. Scoreboard ticks once more and her side goes up. What do you do right now, Tony?
8:15 p.m.
I stopped looking at the scoreboard first. I look down, and I'm going to try to get down. I'm going to try to, I think I almost have to climb down. And almost I have to go up to go down, because Everybody's stiff so I can't. There's just a mass of bodies below me, so I'm going to try to just kind of lift myself up and roll off the pile of people that are under me.
And it's not hard, because the trophy you're holding, it becomes heavy. It's almost like an anvil. You notice every face in the gymnasium. It's changed. It's an old woman's face. Oh, it's Drew's grandma. Sound that comes out of the mouths, they're not cheering. It's something strange. The old man, he stands up. He moves through the frozen crowd the way he always moved through a room. Oh, you know this movement. It's like the furniture owed him something and was in his way. He was already drunk.
Mm-hmm.
His face is the only face in the gym that's still his own. It's wearing an expression you know best. One that says, almost, not quite, not ever quite. Stops in front of you, looks at the trophy, looks at you, says nothing. He's never needed words for this particular feeling, has he, Tony? What's that feeling?
Can't say the words. He let it slip up in the stands. I saw the pride. And all I want him to do is to come down those goddamn steps and just say, good job. Like, Jesus, that's not much to ask. It really isn't. Not for what I've done. And not for the cover I've run for him. I mean, there's times that mom called the cops and I towed the party line. There's times that mom hid his bottles and I told him where they were because I just wanted it to be quiet. And I'm going to kind of hand over the trophy and look at him and go, you lied to me. Because she's here. And you told me not to worry about it.
So a couple things
She's
happen.
everywhere.
Tony, a couple things happen. First of all, the trophy you can't let go. It's fused to your hands, and it is so heavy it's pulling you down. And second of all, the hardwood beneath your feet, it begins to split along the grain. It's slowly cracking. Long, dark seams. Oh, and through the gap, there's this sick, warm orange of a fire. Just like what might have happened in a locker room. It's that specific light of something being destroyed on purpose. The smell, it reaches you moments later. Smoke. What is that? Alcohol. Violence. You look down at the trophy in your hand, Tony. What's reflected back at you?
My dad's face. No, that's my face today. And that happens to me a lot. Like I'll walk by a mirror and for one split second, I just see his face as my face. And that's exactly what happens in the trophy. It's him. Then I'm like, Jesus, it's me.
Yeah. You know, there's a little plaque on the trophy on the base of it. You know, normally it would read something like champions, whatever. This one, you look down. It says, you would have been at her funeral if it wasn't for me.
And when I read that, like the first time I look at it, I'm like, fuck you, Dad. You're right, I would be. But then I realize it's not talking about Dad. It's talking about me. I made this decision. And I've made a lot of decisions that I've blamed on him. And quite frankly, he's been dead about 20 years now. I still do it. I still use him as an excuse.
So, before you came to die, what did you do?
Well, we just covered my peak moment in life. I did get the scholarship. I was finally out of that house. I was the cute boy in high school, and now I was the cute boy on campus, starting freshman. I don't know where I picked up the love of alcohol, right? But boy, oh boy,
I wonder.
it came to me quick. And got taken out of the starting five. My tutors and stuff couldn't help me enough to keep my grades going. And then the scholarship got cut. I didn't come back the second year. And I desperately scrambled to try to stay in school, not because I wanted to be in school, it's just because I knew where I'd be going if I left. And I just didn't have the academics to go here. I only had the athleticism. And I couldn't go home. So I didn't. Went to Ohio. Worked for like retail for a while. Eventually got myself a sales job. And I've been doing okay selling medical equipment. It's a little bit fish in the barrel. Guy that I used to play with felt bad for me and got me the job, and I've done enough. What I haven't been able to do is maintain any friendships at all. I just can't. I always sabotage it somehow. And that's just my male relationships. Usually what happens when I'm with a woman is I make sure it is short term. I don't want them around me. I don't want to be around them. There's been a handful that I really cared about. And then he'd come out of me and I would see it, and I was not going to take part of that. So I would do something terrible, say something terrible, because I wanted them to hate me when they left. I didn't want to break up with them and them like wish we would be back together. I wanted them to run away and hate me so that there was no chance that they would regret the decision.
Yeah. I'm interested. Is your sword talking to you right now?
I don't think he is.
Mm-mm.
And I think that silence makes me stop for a second. And I reach to my back and I feel him. And I don't know what that means.
Yeah. The old man that's standing in front of you, it's still watching you. In the crowd, that noise, that single pitch, it just runs through your nerves. Every Nana's face in the gym, oh, it's still watching you. Still watching. In the fire beneath the floorboards, you start to feel the heat. The trophy's so heavy, oh, it pulls you down toward the fiery floor. How much longer can you hold on?
What's killing me right now is the kindness in Nana's face. The fact that she's not mad at me, that she's not yelling at me, that I'm seeing more sympathy in her face than I've ever seen in a lifetime from either of my parents.
Yeah.
And she should hate me. And I think
don't
the other thing, real quick, I think the other thing that surprises me is I look around looking for Riot for Flynn and Freya,
Yeah.
which is not something that I do. I don't look for help. And at this moment right now, I need them. And I don't think I've ever felt that before.
Yeah. And they're gone. They're not here. I don't know Nana very well, but she seems like the type that was really nurturing and really cared for people. So everything is pushing down on you. The fire, you can start to feel it burning your feet and your fingers as the trophy is pulling you down. Tony, it'd be so easy just to lay down and quit. And then you hear a voice. Tony? The crowd goes silent. Every face closes its mouth. The fire freezes still. It's interesting. The old man takes a step back, the way he always did when someone in the room outranked him and he knew it. You hear footsteps on the hardwood behind you. Unhurried, unafraid. What do you do, Tony?
Why are you here? And what do you want?
Sherry steps around in front of you. You've seen Sherry a couple times since you've been in this world. Oh, this is different. Sherry, she's translucent. Dim lights, they soften as they pass through her. She looks really good. She looks like she did on that night of your date. You know, the good night. The easy one before everything got complicated. She kneels down and looks at the trophy in your hand. She looks in your face. What's in her expression isn't anger. It's not accusation. She almost smiles, but she catches it. You look exactly like someone who's won something that he's not sure he deserved. She reaches out and touches your arm. Feel the warmth from the inside, almost like it's a memory of her hand. From that one night, that easy and real night. Tony, I'm not here to take this from you. Here, stand up with me. Go ahead.
Take it. Here, take it.
No, Tony. You find that you can release your hands and you can stand up. Tony, I don't want it. But I need you to hear something about what it costs to win it and the way you want it. Tony, when you broke that group apart, and let's be real, you broke it apart, Tony. I need you to own that. Tony, you didn't just end a game night. You took Jess from me, the first person who treated me like I was special. You took JJ, someone I kind of had a crush on, and if we had more time, who knows? You took Drew. Drew, my person, the one I told everything to. And you took Scott. You know what happened after the group fell apart, what happened with Scott. I'm not going to put that entirely on you, no. Tony, you started the unraveling, you know that. I need you to understand what unraveled with that group. Tony, I want to hear from you. When Sherry went through the list of people and what they meant, which one lands the hardest?
Jess.
Yeah.
Because I figured out why Sherry was so mad at me. And I figured out what she thought of me when she died. And everything she just said is all true. But I didn't say those things about her. And I never saw her that way. And that doesn't absolve me of anything, but
Tony, I'm not asking you to carry all of this. I'm just asking you to carry your part, just the part that was yours.
I can carry more than that.
Just the part that's yours.
Just give it all to me and let everybody else go. You've gotten your point across, Sherry. You're right. This is 100% my fault. Everybody would be better. And you'd still be here if I didn't do that to Scott. And if I didn't mix things up because I thought this would, and I'm looking around like that this would be worth it all.
Sherry glances at the trophy laying on the floor, then at the old man. And Tony, she puts her hand against your cheek. It feels like a memory. Tony, your father got you out of trouble your whole life. I know that. He got you out of trouble at the police station, didn't he? Yes. And you know what, Tony, when somebody does that long enough, you never have to find out who you really are. Tony, I'm not asking you to give the trophy back. I'm not asking you to confess to anyone or to fix what your father buried. Tony, I know what he did to you. I know he was abusive. I know it was hard. Tony, what I'm asking you is much simpler than all of this. Then again, it's really difficult, Tony. Tony, I need you to say out loud right now what breaking up that group cost each of us. What did it cost you? What did it cost Jess, Drew, Scott, JJ? Oh, and Tony, what did it cost me? Tony, I don't want an excuse for why you did it. I don't want a justification. Tony, just admit what it cost.
Sure, I don't think I know all of it. Even what it cost me. Yours, honestly, is the easiest one. It cost you your life. I wonder if you didn't die alone. I don't know. But whatever I am responsible for, just put it on me. I'm real good at it. But I just leave Flynn, and Freya, and Riot and Scott alone. We'll do this, you and me.
Tony, why do you think I'm here?
I
I'm
have
not.
no clue.
Tony, you treat me like I'm a monster. I'm not a monster, Tony. I'm just trying to help you release this guilt you've carried for 40 years. I see what it's done to you.
So hurting me is it for my own good? Is that what you're telling me? Because I've heard that before.
Tony, this isn't me. This wasn't me. I didn't create this world. Here. And she takes you by the hand and leads you to the now empty bleachers.
I've dropped the trophy.
Let's just sit and talk.
Okay.
You must have a billion questions, Tony.
I don't, because I don't think this is you.
I know. And I can't prove it to you that it's me. But you do know I'm different than a lot of the other things you face so far, right?
I'm going to pause for a second. And anybody who knows me sees the wheels turning.
Mm-hmm.
The two wolves fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And my posture changes. And I stand up and look at her and say, enough. What's next? Wherever this is headed, let's just go there. Because this is boring. You're boring me. So whatever it is you're trying to do, just do it. I don't have to sit around and watch this game anymore.
All right, Tony. She touches your face. Just know that these 40 years, wherever this is, I've learned a lot. I know it wasn't you. And I'm sorry for my part of this. Tony, just know you can't carry that. She touches your face again. And she starts to walk off.
Whatever you are, if you hurt Jess, I will cut through this whole goddamn world for you.
Everything goes dark. Somewhere right now, Sherry is being buried. JJ's not there. JJ's here. He's in a room. It's warm. And it's close the way it always has been. Candle wax, old wood, framed scriptures on every single wall, the ceramic Jesus on the mantle, eyes upward, palms open. JJ, you're on your knees, the center of the room, on a thin prayer rug worn nearly through. Oh, you've been on this rug before. Around you stand your mother, the elders of the church. At the doorway stands the promised one, a girl, 13. She watches carefully with the stillness of someone trained not to take up space. Father stands at the head of the circle. His hand rests on your head. JJ, your lips are moving, but you're not saying their prayer, are you?
No, I'm not saying anything out loud. But with the echoes of all of them praying, I want them to see that I'm participating. I'm praying in sort of an incoherent stream of consciousness torrent. And I don't even know who I'm praying to, because whatever God these people believe in, that's not something I can believe in. But I'm praying that Sherry, somewhere, anywhere, knows how much she meant to me and how much I can't forgive myself for whatever small part I played in the way things turned out for her. I think it's small, but I don't know. I saw her heartbreaking in her face that night on the lawn. And I'm praying to find a way out. I don't want to be here anymore. I can feel my father's hand on the back of my head pressing me down until I'm almost bent double. His voice is the loudest of all of them, not angry, just firm and insistent. And it's all I can do to not hear it.
This was like that night, wasn't it,
Mm-hmm.
JJ?
Yep. That, until tonight, was the longest I had ever been here. I feel like tonight's going to be longer.
JJ, you noticed something? No, JJ doesn't. It's more Flynn. The candles, they begin to burn a little lower than they should. They're not as bright. The scripture on the wall. This is just like something out of a horror movie. They begin to bleed along the edges, the moisture spreading inward, eating the words one letter at a time. The prayers around you change and shift in their pitch. The same words, but something underneath them is wrong. It's like a hymn being played back at the wrong speed. You feel more hands on your back than there should be. You can't turn to count. Your father's hand on your head grows heavier. It's not like flesh, it's like stone, like silence, that particular weight when someone asks you a question and you choose not to answer. Flynn, what do you do?
I'm trying. I know I can't get out from under his hand. I've convinced myself that I can't. But just turning my head to the side so I can see who else or what else is here, what else has changed that shouldn't be. The real night was so simple and straightforward. It almost looks pathetic looking back at it, but this is something more, and I need to know what it is.
Flynn, the harder you try to turn and move and look around, the harder the hands press. And the corruption, or whatever this is, begins to accelerate. The candles, they all die at once. What replaces them isn't darkness, but something worse. A flat gray light that drains color from the walls until the room looks painted rather than built. Every scripture frame now holds the same image. It's your yard, a summer evening, a girl standing on the grass, with hope still on her face. You catch a glimpse of the elders' mouths. They're stretched way too wide, too many teeth. The sound coming out of their mouths is no longer language. Their hands drive you down hard, sudden, until your forehead cracks against the rug. Face presses into the wet wool. You can smell whatever the wet is. It's not water. Oh, and then the promised. She moves forward, standing right in front of you. Vines and brambles come at you from her palms. They're every rule you chose, every wall you never broke, every silence you swallowed, like communion. They wrap around your chest, your throat, your wrists. Oh, it smells like this house. This house has always had a smell. You're bound before you understand you're being bound. Your father, minus his head, of course, still leads a circle of abominations. Hand still presses your head toward the ground. The floor of the room begins to dissolve. You're kneeling on your lawn. The grass is cold and dark, and the light is gray. Promise enters the circle and crouches before you. She takes her face in both hands. Oh, this is not a child's grip, no. She pulls your head upward and peers into your face. You see her eyes. Not eyes, they're buttons. The bindings, they pull tight one final time. The promised opens its mouth. Where is your whore now, my love? You know what happens to witches and sluts, don't you, my love? They're cast out. They burn. JJ, look over there at that young woman. Oh, she's standing on your lawn. The promise, she slaps you so hard your neck steps back. And everything fades to black. JJ, when you start to come to, you lie awake on the wet lawn, your eyes are closed. What are you thinking?
This is all gone. They're gone. The house is gone. Most of them are dead. This is all long since over. I'm free. And I want to believe that so badly.
JJ, you hear the footsteps on the grass behind you, bare feet. She always took her shoes off at the door. The bindings release.
Sit up.
Sherry walks around. Oh, you're still on the ground. You don't have to do that for me. And she reaches out and touches your face. You feel it the way you feel a memory.
There were so many things I should have done for you, and I didn't do any of them. Maybe this is all I have left.
JJ, what happened on the lawn that day, that wasn't you. That was everything this house was. It was just wearing your face. I know the difference.
wish I could have fought back. But I wasn't strong enough. I'm so sorry.
She looks at you, and you can see in her eyes there's a sadness.
You know you never deserved any of that, right?
I know, JJ. I just wanted you to say something. I just wanted you to say anything. Oh, JJ, I know you were carrying a burden. I always knew. That's why I came to this lawn in the first place, because I thought if anyone went under. She stops. You were the one I thought would protect me. You chose not to, and I went home that night and I was already gone, JJ. Not all at once. Something closed. I'm not here to punish you. And honestly, JJ, I don't want an apology. I don't need an apology. What I need is for you to say out loud, not to me, I already know. Say it out loud to yourself. Just say out loud what you chose that night, not what your father chose, not what your mother chose, what you chose, why you were silent.
That night, when we were here, I chose I wanted to get along with what I thought would be my whole life. I thought this would always be it. And I thought whatever I might have had with you was just going to be temporary. And then after I saw the look on your face, this was the night I decided to burn it all down.
JJ, that's all I needed.
I wish I had done it sooner. I'm so sorry.
You know you're going to have to forgive yourself. I already have.
Well, thanks.
JJ, you notice that it just seems like the oppression has been lifted. The house fades away. You guys are actually standing in a park, a pretty little park. And she settles on the grass in front of you, cross-legged. Easy, the way she always used to do that. She's not going anywhere until you're ready.
Tell me something. Scott says he's doing this because he wants to bring you back. I don't know. Maybe he can, maybe he can't, but what do you want?
Sherry's quiet for a few moments. She's not being evasive. You can tell she's genuinely thinking about it. She looks at you, looks you straight in the eye. I don't know what bring back means. I keep feeling like I have somewhere to be, like there's a place I'm supposed to get to that I haven't gotten to yet. Every time I try to remember how to get there, I end up here instead with all of you. I don't think I'm lost. I think I'm waiting, but I don't know what I'm waiting for.
Well, I hope that whatever we do, you don't have to wait anymore after we're done. You deserve better.
You know, JJ, the one thing I've always liked about you is you were considerate. You were the steady one. Oh, Drew and I were friends, but oh, Drew. Drew had a streak. I liked it.
Yeah. She was the opposite of me in a lot of ways. She was never afraid to say what she felt.
Yeah. That's true. But you were the one that I came to visit that night.
Yeah.
Are you okay, JJ? I know this has been hard. Are you okay?
I think I'm as okay as I'm gonna be. I've got a whole history full of bullshit like we all do. And I'm gonna have a hard time forgiving myself for a lot of it, but I think this, and he sort of gestures around them as if this is not, not the whole dungeon high school thing, but just this lawn and Sherry. I think this has helped. So thank you for that.
You deserve it.
Maybe so.
JJ, Flynn, you smell honeysuckle, and things just start to get dark.
And I think I just stare at her until the vision goes away.
Yeah. Somewhere right now, Sherry's being buried. Jess is not there. Jess is here. Oh, the wood, it's ancient and it's enormous. It's the kind of forest that only exists in stories. And the kind of stories your group used to tell around the table on Friday and Saturday nights. Oh, the trees, they're cathedral tall. Their canopy so thick that the light filters down in long green shafts. It's soft and it's sourceless and oh, it's perfect. Moss covers everything. It feels so soft on your feet. The air smells like rain that hasn't fallen yet. Somewhere deeper in the trees, there's a sound of water running, unhurried and clean. You've been here before. Not in your body, but in your imagination. This is the wood from the edge of the map. One the group never quite reached before everything fell apart. Freya, you're at the back of it. You're hiding. Somewhere ahead, through the trees, there's a funeral you can't see and you can't hear. It's just the wood and the green light and the sound of water and the very specific silence of someone who's put a great deal of distance between themselves, something they can't face. Oh, it's so beautiful. You don't deserve how beautiful this is, you think. Yes, Freya. You drove yourself to the funeral. You could have sat with the others. You could have sat with the people. You could have been in the front with Scott. But here you are, in the very back, alone. Just why did you go at all?
Some part of me wanted to believe that if I went to the funeral, I would somehow get to see Sherry one last time, and it could replace the memory of her slamming the door shut in my face. So I wanted to go there, hoping to fill that spot, knowing full well that wouldn't happen.
What did that day give you?
That day took from me my peace. It gave me nothing.
Freya, you've been here a while. The light doesn't change. That's the first thing you notice. You've been here long enough that it should have shifted. Afternoon toward evening or something, but it hasn't. Wood seems to exist outside of any clock, outside of any map. You begin to understand slowly. This place does not intend to let you leave, not yet. You're not hiding at the back of a funeral, you're just simply stopped. Jess, tell me about your life right now. You know, back in the real world.
I live in a small apartment. It's fairly barren. There's 2 half-dead houseplants, still several unpacked boxes, and I have decided to not seek out relationships. All I need, or all I deserve, is right in my 4 walls and what I can find in bottles of various sizes.
So you say all you deserve. What do you mean by that?
I get to be here, and she doesn't.
That's what I was wondering. 40 years. 40 years, that's a long time to carry that weight. So tell me, Freya, do you try to leave this woods?
I don't think I would try to leave them because even though I know this is fake, after a while it becomes familiar, and as nothing is moving, it becomes almost safe. Even though I know in the back of my mind this is anything but safe. It's just what I know.
Mhm. I don't know how long you've been here. It's been a while. And here, the nearest trees, they begin to creak and groan. The moss pulls back from their roots. They begin to step forward, creating a little ring around you. Green light thins. What comes through instead, it has no color. It's flat, sourceless gray from somewhere old and corrupt. The trees, they're an audience. They've always been the audience. You just couldn't see their faces until now. They're the faces of those who were never supposed to know about your little group, especially not about Sherry. They're the hallway crowd, the lunch table crowd, every person you performed an indifference for. Oh, they're all here. They're watching you hide in the back of a funeral in a wood has no edge, no exit, and no evening.
I simply stare back for a while, waiting for something to happen. Anything?
You get the oppressive feeling, or you get the impression that they're laughing at you. At your feet, where the moss pulled back and the roots moved, it formed a little hollow in the earth. It's small and it's deliberate, and it's about the size of a cupped hand. Inside it, catching the gray light, oh, you know what's there. 2 small pills. You know instinctively those are just the first ones. They're the ones you told her were nothing, just something to take the edge off. Honestly, Freya, no one could blame you. You were being kind, trying to help a friend. Even though you couldn't acknowledge her in front of everybody. You can't look away from those pills lying there. Then the roots begin to move, not quickly. Oh, nothing in this wood moves quickly, but it does move deliberately. The way things move when they've waited long enough and finally have decided to stop waiting, they rise from the earth around your feet. First the thinner ones, then the thicker ones, curling upward with the slow, patient certainty of something that has always known where you're standing. They find your ankles, they find your calves. They don't tear or cut. You simply hold the way a secret holds, the way a compromise holds, the way every small decision to say nothing holds. Winding tighter, pulling you toward the hollow, toward the pills and the gray light. And the faces are watching you from the trees. You can't move forward. Can't move back. You're exactly where you've always been. Caught between the person you were in the hallways and the person you were in the dark. It's just that the roots of this ancient wood, man, they finally decided to make that visible. And from somewhere deep in the trees, not from the direction of the funeral, no. It's from nowhere you could have predicted. You hear your name, spoken gently by someone who knew how to say it. Jess. Trees lower their eyes, like a congregation asked to bow their heads. The roots loosen. The voice comes from deeper in the woods. Do you go toward it, or do you stay where you are?
Think I. The moment I hear the voice, my name said with that timbre, I just close my eyes for a moment, just for a moment, like trying to have that nestle inside my brain the way that my last memory of her has nestled itself in. And I think when I hear it again, I turn towards it and I start walking, then a little faster, and then I think I don't know how far the voice is if it gets closer, but I think I'm gonna start running towards it.
As you're running, she steps from the edge of the trees. She's translucent. The green light still lives deeper in the canopy and it's passing through her softly. And she looks the way she looked on those good nights, the private ones that happened when no one else was watching. Where
I
you
run
stop.
up to.
Go ahead.
Oh. I definitely stop on my tracks for a moment, but I think when I see her, I don't think there's thinking happening or I'm not questioning this. I just run forward and just fall onto my knees in front of her, just trying, not sure if it succeeds, but just trying to just wrap my arms around her waist, just pressing my head into like her belly. Crying.
You don't know if you're really holding something or not, but you can feel. You can feel the warmth. Is it a memory? Sherry reacts and she puts her hand on the back of your head. I knew you'd be back.
Missed you so much. And I'm so sorry.
She smiles, but sort of brushes off the comment. You know, Jess, it's just like you to sit in the back. You always put yourself where you could leave the fastest. I used to think that it was just how you were. It took me a minute to understand that it was specifically about me. She sits down with you cross-legged, just two friends. Jess, I'm not going to pretend I didn't know about the hallways, about who you were around them and who you were around me. I knew. I just kept deciding that it was enough. You know, the part of you that I got, that was enough. Jess, let me ask you a question.
Anything?
Did you know that Sherry realized that you were ignoring her and possibly talking behind her back to the popular people, the ones who never accepted her?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I knew.
Yeah. Sherry looks at you. Kind of amazing that the two little pills are in the same cupped earth that you just left. Sherry looks at them. Jess, I'm not going to ask you if you knew what I was going to do with them. I don't think that question has a clean answer, and I don't think a clean answer would help either of us. I just want you to know this. What I will say, you gave me something to take the edge off, and I used it for something entirely else, entirely different. That last part, that was mine. I made that choice. You didn't make it for me. You understand that, right?
But you couldn't have done it if I hadn't. Don't you think I think about this every single waking, sober moment? That this wasn't my fault, that I couldn't have known? They told me that in therapy, and everybody keeps telling me that I couldn't have known, but you couldn't have done any of this if I hadn't done this, given you the pills. It's like I was handing you a gun.
But Jess, the pills weren't the cause, they were the effect, right? When you told me what Tony had said to the guys, oh, that hurt. But what happened in the hallways, every hallway, every time you passed me in front of your friends and you looked right through me like I was a stranger, like the night before hadn't even happened, like I was nobody.
Oh my God.
That was
Very.
devastating. I saw you see me. I saw every time you would make a choice right in front of me to pretend I didn't exist because I wasn't the right kind of person. That's what broke me, Jess. That's what broke something in me, not all at once,
But
just a little every time.
you were the right person.
We were 17.
So? What does that matter? Just, I still felt what I felt.
That's not what I mean, Jess. It's hard being in school when you've spent your entire time with a certain crowd. Those habits are hard. But listen, those pills, they were just the end of something. Something that started in part because of the hallway. I need you to know the difference here between what was yours and what was mine. The pills and what I did with them, that's mine. The hallways, that was yours. Oh, I know your feelings were real. I know what was between us was real. I always knew. But knowing your feelings were real and hiding me, that hurt. Sherry, I need you to say something aloud right now. I need to know what I was worth to you. Not what you told your friends. Not what you told yourself in the hallways. What did I actually mean to you?
I loved you. And I didn't want to share you, and I did it in everything.
That's all I ever wanted to hear you say. And you feel the mood lighten between you, just like a weight has been lifted off the shoulders. Sherry leans up against the tree. Jess, I'm not going anywhere until you're ready. But at some point we do have to move on to the next step. I've missed you.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe just a few more minutes.
Sure.
And I'm going to put my head into her lap. Just leave it there.
As before, you don't know if it's her lap or if you don't.
Doesn't matter.
But you guys sit there for a very long time. And then you smell the honeysuckle. And you hear the birds as the light dims. While your head is in Sherry's lap. Somewhere right now, Sherry is being buried.
Jesus.
And Drew's not there. Drew is here. Oh, the cell is small and institutional and exactly what you would expect. Concrete walls, a metal bunk, a toilet in the corner that doesn't fully flush. A fluorescent bar overhead that hums at a frequency had to be designed to make thinking difficult. Across the cell on the lower bunk sits another prisoner, sitting cross-legged on the bunk staring at the wall. They're not speaking. They haven't spoken since you arrived. The bars at the front of your cell, they're solid. They're indifferent. Beyond them's the corridor. It's empty right now. Sounds of the jail, their distant clang of doors, the murmur of the guards, the specific acoustic misery of a place like this. It's all here, it's all present, and it's all correct. In Riot, you're here because someone decided the evidence pointed at you. You're here because your record existed, and Sherry didn't. And someone needed a story that made sense. You're here for something you did not do. The thing you did do, it sits with you anyway. It always has. Tell me, Riot, what are you thinking as you're sitting in this cell?
I'm thinking I can't decide which is worse, to be at Sherry's funeral or to be here. At least here, I don't have to talk about it. I don't have to sit in it, live in it. But here is not great. Especially since this time I didn't do anything. And now I have no control over anything that happens.
That
I
doesn't
got
matter.
busted I got busted, a little bit of pot on me, some possession. That's why they can keep me.
That doesn't matter, right?
Why would it matter? It's still my fault.
A student died. Parents at the school need someone to blame. You were in the friend group. You have a record. Were you surprised when they charged you?
Yes and no. I figured I would be brought in for questioning. I had no idea they would think that I did it, because it was, as far as I know, it was just Sherry. So why this came out of nowhere? I mean, she was my best friend. She was my person. And I can't believe that she would leave me. But also, she was so vulnerable with everyone. She gave everybody the best feelings, the best moments, and who am I? Just a fuck up. I should be in here.
And the good parents of the school, the last thing they want to know is that there's a drug problem in the school that took a student's life. The school didn't do anything about it. Fluorescent lights, they begin to flicker. Not dramatically, just a slow, irregular pulse. Kind that could be a loose fitting, the kind that you could explain away if you needed to. The sounds of the jail beyond the bars, it grows quieter. It's dampened. You know, the way sound behaves underwater or in dreams. It's present, but it's not quite reliable. The prisoner across the cell hasn't moved. Oh, but their shadow has. Shadow on the wall behind them or in front of them is no longer shaped like a person sitting on a bunk. It's taller than the ceiling should allow. Has the posture of someone listening. Head slightly tilted, pointed directly at you. As you watch it, Shadow raises one arm and presses a finger to where its mouth would be. Drew, something's wrong. What do you do?
I rush at it. I want to hit it so badly. I don't care if I'm punching a wall, a bar, a bunk, but I'm hitting it as hard as I can. Pushing everything aside on my way.
As you lurch forward, prisoner turns around. Drew, it's your grandmother's face. She's not wounded. She's not accusing. It's just her face, patient and still and looking at you with the expression she wore when she knew something was wrong. She was waiting for you to tell her what. Oh, she's worn that expression so many times. She always waited. She gave you the space you needed to come to her in her own time. She's still waiting. Then the walls, they begin to move. Not dramatically, not all at once. Just an inch. Then another. The concrete pressing inward from all sides. Steady, deliberate, indifferent force of something that's decided to close and will not be argued with. The bunks begin to shift. The toilet scrapes against the floor. The cell is getting smaller. It is not going to stop. True. The bars at the front of the cell, they begin to bend. They begin to bend inward, slowly, one by one, curving toward you with deliberate patience of something that's always known where you're sitting. They don't snap or screech. They bend the way fingers bend. At the joints, smoothly, with purpose. Two hands begin to take shape from the iron, enormous, skeletal, assembled from the bars of your own cell. Reaching into the shrinking space where you're running out of room. Drew, they find your wrists, one at a time, first the left, then the right. The grip is cold and absolute. It doesn't hurt. Simply holds the way truth holds, the way the past holds. Fingers of iron closing around the exact places you've always kept hidden. Pinning your arms out in front of you, whether you choose to or not. The cell wall begins to push into your grandmother's back. Walls are closing in on her too. She has nowhere to go but toward you. The shrinking cell pushes her forward, closing the distance between you inch by inch until she's standing directly in front of you. Close enough that you can see everything in her face. And the iron hands are holding your arms out between you like an offering neither of you asked to make. She looks at your arms. What the iron hands are holding up in the sick yellow light. She reaches out, slowly pulls back your sleeves, not violently.
Jesus.
Just the way you uncover something you've been afraid to look at. You can no longer pretend it isn't there. The burns are there. Even though Flynn healed them, your grandmother can see them. She looks at them for a moment. And she looks up at your face. Her eyes are full of something. Oh, it's not accusation. It's not anger. It's not horror. It's grief. Specific grief of someone who suspected but hoped she was wrong. She reaches into her pocket, pulls out a small bottle. Pills, it's half empty. It's in her hands now. You don't know when that happened, but she opens it. She tips a single pill into her palm, holds it between two fingers so you can clearly see it, raises her other hand and presses a single finger to her lips. Shh. And she swallows the pill. She takes another one, holds it up, same gesture, swallows. And again, and again. The walls press closer, and the iron holds your arms. And you hear, Drew? And it's Sherry. And the iron hands release, the walls stop moving. Your grandmother's face turns back toward the wall, patient, unhurried, and sits there the way it was before. What are you thinking, Drew?
I've got a lot of things going through my head. First is, she's here. I can see her. The next one is crushing guilt. This is my fault. I was her best friend. I should have known how she was feeling. I should have known. everything that was going on with her. I should have stopped her. I should have told someone. I should have. I'm also livid. How could she leave me like this?
Mhm.
How could she pile my loss? How could she, perfect Sherry, have done this?
She comes through the bars the way the light comes through the bars. Not breaking them, not opening them, but she just sort of passes through them. She's translucent. She's present. The fluorescent light, it's steadied now, passes through her softly. She looks the way she looked that day in the bathroom. You get a whiff of the perfume. She looks at the empty bottle on the floor. Then, Drew, she looks at your arms. She looks at your face. And then she reaches out and touches your face. And it feels like a memory. She motions to the bunk, and she walks around and sits down. And folds her hands in her lap. Do you join her?
I think my first response is I just freeze. I don't know. So many things are going on in my head, but eventually I walk over really slowly. I don't look at her. I don't make eye contact. I sit next to her really, really gingerly, just like I'm afraid she'll shatter if I jiggle the mattress. And I fold my hands in my lap and I stare forward. And really softly, I should have done more. I'm so sorry.
Sherry looks at you straight in the eye, and she's there. You were looking eye to eye with her, and she said, I said something terrible to you. It's not a question. It's not an apology. It's just facts plainly stated. I was scared. I was angry. And I said the worst thing I could possibly think of. And I walked away. And I've had some time to think about that. She looks at your arms with the careful attention of someone who's kept a promise. Kept your secret. Every single one. I never told anyone, not about the bathroom, not about your arms. What I said that day, Drew, that wasn't me threatening to tell. That was me being afraid of... It was me being afraid. Taking it out on the wrong person. You saw the pills. You got scared for me. I know that. You were trying to help me. And I shut you out so hard. You couldn't find your way back in. Drew, after I walked away, after I said what I said, you knew about that bottle. You didn't tell anyone. Drew, I need you to hear this. You were the one person who knew. The one person who had seen enough to say something. In the silence after that door closed, it had a cold. I know that was hard on you, and I know what I said. I know you were scared and you were hurt. But Drew, hurt feelings, they heal. Hurt feelings, hurt friendships heal. You should have told somebody. Oh, I would have been furious with you. We might have needed time. It would have been hard and messy, but it would have been worth it. Not for me. For you. You wouldn't have had to carry that weight. I'm not here to sentence you for what happened, no. No. But you've been sitting in a cell for so long. I need you to stop carrying that weight. I need you to say out loud, please, right now. Please, no, you should have told somebody.
Sherry, I should have told somebody. I should have shouted from the rooftops. I should have glued myself to your side until we were laughing again. I should have been as good to you as you were to me. I don't ever deserve forgiveness. And there's a reason I'm alone. I won't trust anyone. I won't hurt anyone. I won't mess up again and again. I wish I had crawled into your grave with you.
Sherry
I'm so
looks
sorry.
puzzled by this. I know you're sorry. Thank you for saying it. Like happened with the others, you feel this weight. The darkness of the atmosphere kind of lifts. Sherry smiles. San Francisco would have been so good, Drew. I really think it would have.
And I can picture it. I can picture us going there together. I can picture us getting our first tiny, cheap apartment. I can picture talking through relationships and crappy jobs and beach days. I can see it. I can see petty little fights. I can see her getting mad at me for leaving dishes in the sink. I can see me getting mad at her for telling me I'm working too much and not taking the time. I can see everything and how perfect it would have been.
We would have had so much fun hanging out with the hippies. That would have been so much fun.
And the music.
Oh, the music. And the seafood. I like seafood.
Keep that to yourself. It's a little smelly. You can have your own shelf in our fridge.
You two talk together for hours. Just light talk. Drew, I'm going to have to leave here in just a moment. Just for a little while.
But you'll be back?
You'll see me, yeah. And Drew, this is something that hasn't happened to anyone. Sherry reaches out and gives you a hug, and you can feel Sherry there.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll see you in a little bit, sweetheart. and you smell the fragrance of that cheap perfume as everything goes dark. And Craig, we need to take a break and get some alcohol.
Yeah. Free refills.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back in 10 minutes. So then we all get home holding hands. Oh, sorry.
And it was a dream.
No.
Oh, God.
All right. We're back.
All right, so everyone had their time fade to darkness, and now the light comes back. Some of you smelled honeysuckle. Some smelled perfume. Tony, you didn't really smell anything. But when you come back, you find yourselves in this ancient wood. Jess, this feels familiar. It's got to be the same woods. The trees are ancient cathedrals. The same green gold lights filtering through with the impossibly high canopy. But now you're standing in a clearing. It's a wide circle. And it's as if this circle has been waiting since before any of you were born. It feels as if this is where everything was going to end all along. At the center of the clearing stands an altar. It's old, stone. It's dark and moss-covered, low, wide. It's the kind of altar that belongs to a religion older than any you could name. It's not threatening, it's just simply present, massive and patient, the way all true things are patient. Around its base, the grass grows thick and untroubled, and the air above it is very still. Around the altar, at the edges of the clearing, the trees watch, not with malice, but with the attention of witnesses. You're all here. You all look at each other across the clearing the way people look at each other when they've been through something alone and are only now understanding that they were never alone at all. Scott's already here. He stands at the far edge, apart from the altar and apart from you all. He looks diminished. He's wearing the same robes he had before, but the flames and the grandeur, it's just diminished. And he looks tired. He's looking at the altar. He's been looking at it since you arrived. When he turns to face you all, his eyes are the eyes of someone who built an entire world to avoid standing exactly where he's standing now. He's just run out of world. So you all appear. What do you do?
I just look around to the others, kind of
I'm okay.
getting a
You
sense.
okay?
Yeah.
Right? Just nod if you're okay.
Just roll my eyes.
Scott. You okay?
He doesn't look you in the eye, but he straightens and something shifts in his posture. When he speaks, his voice is very careful and it's controlled. And it's very precise. You're all here. Good. Okay. We can begin. He moves toward the altar, not toward you. He is not looking at you. He's staring at the altar like it's the final authority in the room, and he's its appointed representative.
What do you think we're beginning, Scott?
He hears your question, but it's almost like he's going through a script. The rules are simple. We stay in this world or we go back. If we stay, we all have to agree. And we'll all stay just like we are. Heroes. If we go back to the lives that we left. Everyone gets a vote. Since we're all alive. You know, if you're dead, you don't get to vote. And you can see Scott starting to come back to the GM that he used to be. The votes it's all that remains. I suggest we take the vote now. Any questions?
Oh, I'm sorry. We get to ask questions now?
Same old Tony, I see.
I just need to know if this is you doing this, Scott, or if you're just as much stuck under this like we are. That's all. My one question.
Scott looks down at his feet. He will not look you in the eye. Tony, we just have to do the vote.
No, Scott. No. Whatever this is, wherever we are, and whatever the four of us just went through, it tore out of us. You need to answer the question, Scott. Is this your doing? Or are you under something right now?
Scott looks up at you, and you can tell he's pleading with you to stop. Tony, we have to take a vote. If you want to vote to stay, you say, I want to stay. If anyone votes to go home, we all go home.
I am going to swing around to the three of you and go, he's not answering the question. So how can we trust him? How do we know anything he's saying is true? He can't even answer a single, simple question.
I haven't trusted him since this whole bullshit started.
It's 100% right, Flynn. Whatever this is, whether it's Scott or something else, they're fucking with us.
Look, Scott, I get that you're sick. I get that you're weak. I get that you miss Sherry. We all fucking miss Sherry. That doesn't give you the right to do any of this.
100%.
And I don't know if somebody's making you do it or if you got caught up in something that you no longer have any control of.
Can you two shut up for a minute? I'm going to walk around you, walk up to Scott. If we stay, will she be here?
Yes.
It's not her, Riot. I saw it. I saw her. Or what was pretending to be her. And I saw through it.
I'm gonna start walking towards Riot and Scott and just stand next to Riot, looking at Scott.
I talked to her. I hugged her.
Scott,
Did you ask her if she wants to come back? Because I did.
Scott? Is it really her? No bullshit.
Whenever you saw Scott before, he had this sort of half mask on, and his eyes looked like fire, and it was really dramatic. All of that's gone. You look into Scott's face, and I mean, he's a stronger man than he was when you came here. But you could see the tears in his eyes. He shakes his head, yes.
No. He still hasn't answered the question, Freya.
I'm not looking at you.
Suddenly, the atmosphere in the clearing changes. And she walks into the clearing slowly. The way she walked into every single location. The grass doesn't bend under her feet. The light in the clearing shifts as she enters, warming by several degrees. The gold green becoming something closer to late afternoon light. She looks at each of you. Something passes across her face as she looks at every one of you. It's recognition and it's tenderness. And it's the warmth of someone who's had time to sort through things that mattered and the things that didn't matter. It's arrived at a very clear answer. Riot and Jess, she walks between you two and walks up to Scott. She looks at what the years have made of him. She can see the cost of what he built. She can see what it's done to him physically. Her expression isn't anger, it's not accusation, it's sadness. And it's love. Kind that sees everything and stays anyway. Scott. Not yet. There are things that need to be said before anyone votes on anything. Things that have waited 40 years. The altar knows why we're all here. So do all of you. She turns and faces each one of you. Every single one of you in this clearing had a part in what happened to me. I'm not saying that to punish anyone. We've already been through this. I'm saying it because nothing that comes next, staying, going, any of it, means anything unless it's built on what's true. And what's true has been sitting on this stone before any of you arrived. Let it show what it needs to show, and then we'll talk. You see the stone. It begins to glow. The altar, the air above, you can see kind of the heat waves, kind of rising up in the air. Then suddenly images start to flash on the stone. It's a summer evening. There's a lawn, a girl crossing it with hope on her face, a mother's voice, a father's hand, a boy on his knees who opens his mouth and closes it again. A question hanging in the air unanswered. The girl walks away. The boy is still kneeling and the lawn is empty. There's a locker room, a boy against a wall, a diary changing hands, laughter. Tony laughing, not stopping it. A corridor, pants gone, the doors opening into screaming. A gymnasium, a trophy, a police station window. A girl's name. Not recognized. At least that's what you said, Tony. A hand on a shoulder that never came, from an old man who never found anything to be proud of. Crowd roaring. And there's a hallway. Two girls who knew each other passing without acknowledgement. A basement, a game, a hand found in the dark. The same hallway, the same performance of not knowing. A bathroom, a bottle passed between hands, and then another bottle. Hands that knew and passed it anyway. Hands that meant well and passed it anyway. And there's a bathroom, two people, a secret kept tenderly. A bottle on the floor, an argument, last words, a door, silence lasted until it was too late to break. A jail cell, an accusation that landed in the wrong place. The right place is empty. Then you see a boy who loved a girl. Not the way stories usually mean, completely, desperately, in the way that someone has found one person. And in this person was the only world where he felt safe. The group, a table, a game, the one place where being Scott was not a liability, where his mind was the most valuable thing in the room, where she laughed at his jokes and listened to his ideas and made him feel, for the first time, like the world had a place for him in it. Tony's hands, a shove, someone taking the diary, reading it aloud. Tony laughed. He did nothing. Drew saying nothing. JJ saying nothing. The boy who loved her still standing and taking it. Because if he made trouble, the game ended. And if the game ended, he lost the only thing worth keeping. Every time, every hallway, every joke at his expense. It's the price for staying close. A night, a confession, hand on his face, tender and sad. Her voice saying the word brother and meaning it completely, meaning it in the highest form. It was the best thing that she could give him. A hug, the warmth of someone who trusted him. The door. Her face after, not angry, not crying, just closed. Something behind her eyes that was open a moment ago is not there anymore. She didn't go home. A car, a parking lot, the place where it all happened, where all of them were 17 together, and where the game was played at the table and the group existed before it didn't, and she sat there in the car with the bottle in her lap. His voice in her head saying that last sentence, and she couldn't hear anything else. The bottle, the pills, the parking lot, dark and quiet. His voice over and over again. 30 years, a world built from guilt and grief and the inability to say one thing out loud, one thing that mattered. A game designed to bring her back, a throne built from the one thing that killed her. And the stone goes dark. The clearing is really quiet. There are no more birds. Sherry hasn't moved since the visions began. She's watched all of it. Her own death assembled from every angle, every hand that contributed to it. The stillness of someone who's already made peace with the shape of what happened and is here for something else entirely. Yes, just a second.
Who were you talking to?
To be clear, those were images on the stone.
Okay. I don't know if it's Scott. I don't know if it's doing it to Scott and to us. Every one of us knows what it's like to be pressed to feel things, to be lied to be told narratives, to be told stories to make us feel a certain way. And that's what's happening right now. And I don't know why. And I'm not even sure it's Scott. But I know one thing. That's not Sherry. Which makes all of this bullshit.
Sherry looks at you, Tony, and you don't see anger, you just see disappointment. She turns to Scott. He hasn't looked at anyone during the visions at all. He's been looking at the ground. She reaches out, places her hand lightly against his face. Scott, I know you remember. You built all of this because you couldn't say it 40 years ago, Scott. The whole world, all those rooms, all those monsters, all those doors that led back to the same hallway. All of it so you wouldn't have to stand somewhere and say out loud what you said to me that night. Scott, I know what you're carrying. We all know what Tony did, what all of them did. I know what it cost you to stay quiet. I know what it felt like to hear the word brother from my mouth. I'm sorry, Scott. I know what you told me wasn't hate. I know it was the pain inside. I know you loved me more than you knew how to hold on to, and I knew that when you spoke, it came out broken. Scott, I sat in that car. I heard your voice over and over again in my head. No one else's, Scott. Yours. The person's whose voice I had never once had to be afraid of. You know what you said. And you know what I couldn't unhear. And you know what I did because of it. That's the thread, Scott. Everyone had a part, including you.
I don't even realize that I'm walking slowly towards the altar and towards Riot, Freya, and Scott. I'm just slowly starting to walk there.
What did you say, Scott?
Sherry says, Scott, I forgive you. I want you to know that before anything else. Not because what you said was forgivable in the moment, because I've had 40 years of eternity to understand what pain does to people. I understand what happened to you that night. Scott, forgiveness is mine to give, not theirs. What comes next is yours to do. Scott, they were there too. They were a part of what broke you. They've sat in their own rooms tonight. They faced their own part. Scott, now it's your turn. I need you to tell them, not me, Scott, I already know. Tell them what you said tonight, or said that night in your own words, all of it. It's not fair to make them vote until they know.
What was it, Scott? You know our secrets. You know all of our secrets, all of our lives, and we don't know much about you, and I'm sorry. We don't know about you. Sorry, we didn't pay attention, and we were cruel. But you need to tell us.
Scott is looking straight into Sherry's eyes. She has her hand on his face. He nods his head yes. And Flynn, you recognize what's happening. You've seen this featureless beast before. It comes up behind him, opens its circular mouth, and this long proboscis comes out.
There, right fucking there. Do you see it?
My sword's already been out.
Don't.
It pierces the back of Scott's neck. He finally breaks his gaze from Sherry and looks at each one of you. Mouths the words, "I'm sorry." And the altar comes to life once more. This is more like the video of the car crash. You see Scott and Sherry, they're sitting in the grass at the park next to the school. She has her hand on his face. Then you hear his voice. Brother. Best friend. You know why I never hit Tony back? Why I just stood there when they took my diary and read it out loud, and while he laughed, when he shoved me into the walls, when Jessica called me a loser in front of everybody, it was because of you. It was always you. Because if I fought back, we couldn't meet anymore. If I got expelled, I'd never see you again. So I just took it. I took all of it every single time. I stood there. I took it. I told myself it was worth it because at least I got to see you. And you let me take it. You all just watched. Drew said nothing. JJ said nothing. You said just ignore them. And you went home and you slept fine. Sherry, you knew what it cost me. You knew and you let me keep paying it. Just so you could have your little group of friends. I was so... Sherry, I made myself so small, so quiet, so careful not to make any trouble, not to make any waves, not to be too much, because that's what you needed me to be. I had to be the safe one, the one who loves you and doesn't ask for anything back. I did it. I did it for years. It was for nothing. You didn't just say no to me, Sherry. You said no to all of this every time I stood there and took it. Every piece of myself, I let them have it, and you just made it all mean nothing. Sherry, I'm done listening to your problems. Done keeping your secrets. Done being the one everybody steps on. Those nightmares you keep having. Those monsters you see. That's your damn guilt, Sherry. That's not mine. That's yours. So take your pills, the one Jessica gave you. Take them and go to sleep, and maybe when you wake up, you'll understand what you did to me. Or maybe you won't wake up. And honestly, I don't know which would be better. Scott falls to his knees. Here it is. She turns to you. He built this world because he wanted to bring me back. You know, every single one of you had a part of what happened to me. None of you are monsters. All of you were 17 and scared and selfish in the specific ways that 17 and scared produces. You made choices you can't unmake. So did I. So did Scott. I didn't come here to sentence anyone. I came here because of this. And she motions the clearing and the altar. It's always going to end here, with all of you in a circle, the truth on the stone where everyone could see it. That's what this world was for. Even if Scott didn't know it when he built it. He built a confession. He just couldn't figure out how to make himself the one who didn't have to confess. She reaches down to Scott. Scott, I forgive you. I want you to know that. She turns to all of you. I forgive all of you. Forgiveness doesn't make this choice. Heart's still yours. She moves toward the altar. Would anyone like to say anything before we vote?
First thing I want to ask is that thing still on Scott's neck?
Yeah.
I would like to remove it if I can.
Doesn't take much effort.
Just grab it away and hurl it off into the forest. And look down at them and I say, Scott, if we're making this vote, the one making the vote is you. Nobody speaks for you. For me, I don't want this. I don't want to be in a world full of imaginary bullshit. I don't want to walk around with blood on my hands from things I've killed because I didn't think they mattered because they were monsters. I fucked up. We all fucked up. And we can't undo any of it. But we also can't just sit here and pretend none of it ever happened. I want to go home.
Fucking why?
Did you hear a thing I said?
I did. What do you have to go back to? Is it that much better? Do you have loving family? Do you have...
Quit being a fucking child.
I'm the fucking child? Because I would rather be with the one person who got it. This is more real to me than any shit out there.
It's not, though. You know it. You might want it to be this way, but you fucking know since the minute we walked in here, none of this shit is real.
I think what I'm feeling, what I'm hearing, these feelings right now, that's real.
It is real, Riot.
Yeah.
Everything you just said is real.
Movies make me cry sometimes. That doesn't make them real.
Oh, fuck off. This is different. This is
Is it?
This
Is
is-
it? This is somebody's fucking imagination who came and put a world together to make us feel guilty for shit that we're all responsible for that we can't undo, so he can stay here and play God with imaginary memories of the woman he thought he wanted to love him.
Well, you may think there's a god out there, but I've never seen evidence. You know what I've seen? I've seen people working hard and who loved her and who would bring her back at any cost. What a selfish prick you are.
Did you ask her if she wants to come back? Because I did. The
We
answer
planned
may
our
not be what you think it is.
We planned our future together when I met with her. The future we were robbed of that we could have now.
I got news for you. You're not the same person you were 40 years ago. And neither is Sherry, and neither are any of us.
There ain't no fucking rerolls.
Typical. You'd rather go home and be martyrs to sadness.
It's not a matter of what we'd rather have, Riot. It's not that. Everything you're feeling is really real. But I guess you need to understand it's not just yours. You're not unique here. I would rather a lot of things. But that doesn't make it real.
I'm gonna walk over to Sherry. Sorry, please keep going.
Please, no.
As you're doing this, I'm just walking over to Sherry. Okay, I'm just gonna walk over to Sherry as this is happening, and I don't know if I can touch her. I'm actually not going to touch her. I'm just like getting close to her. I assume she's paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Who's forgiving you? Because we all made mistakes. Yeah. Okay. But you said you made that choice. You said you forgive us. You do that. Everybody just played a small piece. But have you for a second considered what this did to us? Your choice? You're not asking to be forgiven for what you did to Scott, what you did to Tony, to JJ, to Drew, to me. Somehow, this is... What is it? Either this is all of our fault, this is our fault, or it's also yours.
Sherry looks a little confused. I'm sorry.
That's it, Jess. That's it. That's not what Sherry would say. And that's not how she would say it. That's it. I saw it again.
Tony, I don't know what this is. But what I know, whatever comes next for me, it's connected to this and this place. It's connected to you, to what happens in this clearing. I can feel that much. The rest of it, I just can't see yet. So make your decision.
I've made mine. I've held on to this memory and guilt for 40 fucking years. And if I stay here, I'm going to keep holding on because it means that I'm not letting go. And trust me, Drew, as much as I want to stay here and put my head in her lap and pretend none of this happened, I can't do it. I don't hate myself that much. I don't hate any of you enough to let this happen. Even Scott. I'm going to step away from Sherry.
So you keep talking about what's real, what's so you would rather go back to the real world built on lies and secrets than stay here and live in a new world that's built on truth and forgiveness and peace, maybe, and friendship. When's the last time you were with people you ever considered friends?
Right fucking now.
Right now.
Exactly. We're here. You think we go back and we're going to stay texting buddies? We're going to jump on a call every month, give you updates on how great everything is? No, we're going to go right back to that falsehood, right back to those lies, right back to that loneliness, that empty apartment, those full bottles, turning into your dad, turning into your mom, turning into a recluse, turning into a monster.
Are you going to forgive us if we stay here? Because you think we're going to be friends if we stay here? You're going to forget what we did? What Tony and I did? I'm just going to move on? I will try. I will try to make amends. Do you truly think you can be in this pretend world with us after what you know we've done? I can't make amends here. I can't even try to make it up to you in this place. I can only do it if I do it in whatever real world it is, where you are angry at me, where you know, where there's consequences. Because that's it.
Drew, I want you to think about something for a second here. There's a long list of times where I acted like a piece of shit. And it very well could be because That's exactly who I am. There were times that I was really not good to Sherry. And not good to Scott. And I would poke fun at JJ. You're going to have to trust me. Did some pretty shitty things to Jess too. Have you ever stopped to wonder why I never fucked with you? Why I never crossed you? I never goofed off? I never played around? That is because you are the single most powerful person among the six of us. And I'll be honest with you. If there's anybody that can lead us out of here, if there's anybody strong enough to make sure that we make promises and we keep promises, it's you. Because I was scared of you. But I also love you. And we need your help. We need your help to get out of here. And God knows we need your help once we get out of here.
I just fall to the ground.
I come over to check on you, just by instinct more than anything else.
Same.
I've never been the strong one. My whole life is fear. It's humor, it's anger, that's what I let you see, but I am afraid.
No. Because if you were, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have made it this far. Everybody here sees it. Do you know why Scott came to you first? And tried to talk to you first? And tell you what you wanted to hear first? Because he knew too. I'm easy to manipulate. Jim manipulated me. I'm an idiot. Jess, I love Jess. But Jess can get soft and make bad decisions with the best intentions. And poor JJ's grew up in a house of lies. And I can tell you right now, Drew, none of us would have survived you and what you've done. And notice, Scott's not arguing with me. Nor is Jess. Nor is JJ. Most importantly, nor is Sherry's not saying anything either.
You're the only one who didn't hurt her.
I sure did.
Not like us.
What you guys don't understand is that I didn't buy a round trip ticket.
Don't leave us, Drew. Please.
We do this together. Well, it's up to you because I'm not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do.
The stone altar comes to light. Decision must be made. To stay, four must agree. Otherwise, all go home. Something that you guys failed to notice while you were arguing is that Scott's turned sort of translucent, like Sherry, and he walked off into the woods at the south side. Sherry looks at you. She smiles. And she walks off to the north. Vote now. JJ,
Go.
Tony,
Go.
Jess,
Go.
Drew,
Doesn't even matter. Once again, I don't get a choice.
Yeah, it does. You heard what Scott said. We have to have consensus among the living. And I hand you my mallet. And I say, if you want to stay here, you're not going to convince me. So you're going to have to kill me. And if you want to stay here and live with that, then do it. And I kneel down and I put my head on the altar.
If you're dead, you don't get to vote.
That's what he said.
Just gonna look at the mallet in my hand. I'm gonna walk over to the altar. And I'm gonna smash the rock next to.
So a bright light flashes, and you're back in the school, in the library where all of this began. You see Scott in his wheelchair. He's slumped over. The rest of you, you leave together or do you leave separate? The game's over.
I think I'm not going to move for a long, long time or say anything for a long, long time.
When's the last time any of you all have had a Big Tommy's milkshake? I'm buying.
Sure.
That sounds really nice. I look over at Drew. Then I look over at the others. And then I look at Scott's dead body. We just leave?
Yeah. We'll make the phone call. And Drew, if it matters, I'm not driving.
Oh my fucking.
Wow.
And I am just laughing and crying at the same time. Just uncontrollable.
Yeah, I think I'm joining in.
Yeah,
Just-
I'm gonna
I'm
come
like
over
shocked
to Drew.
for a moment.
Mm-hmm. And if you allow me, I'm gonna give you a big old hug.
Yes, just a little flinch.
Okay. And then I kind of open an arm out in case anybody else wants to take part.
I'm looking at Drew if Drew is just, consent is sexy.
So as the camera pulls back, 4 of you are standing there. As the lights go dim, you have Scott sitting in his wheelchair slumped over across from the portrait of Sherry. And that's our game of die.
We'll be right back to talk about everything.
I was okay. Well,
We were back.
when we get there.
Yeah. Floor is yours, Scott. Dick.
Well, I'm Kevin.
No,
so
it's
thank
Kevin
you.
now. Kevin's not a dick.
No. Change your name in the patron Discord.
First of all, thank you guys. This was a lot of fun. I had a very good time. This session was hard. And I was telling, I think it was Z when during one of the breaks that this was not a great week as I was writing this. I mean, this was a little much. I don't think I'll ever tackle that again. But thank you all for playing. It felt real. It was pretty harsh. I know, die can take several forms. It can take more of the heroic dungeon crawl form, but also it explicitly talks about, trauma and dealing with trauma. And so that was kind of our take on it. Just kind of open it up to everybody, kind of get your opinions, what you thought, what you'd like to improve. If you have any questions about what happened or what was going on, just let me know.
I feel like I know everything, which is really pretty cool.
See, I'm in the opposite position. I feel like I don't know things, but I almost like it better not knowing.
Yeah. Whatever dark corners are left, I'd like to keep them there, kind of. Like, I gotta say, for game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118 for a game that doesn't have a structured beginning, middle, and end, like a lot of RPGs do, which I do enjoy,
Mhm.
I felt like we just made it all the way around.
Mhm.
And I've said it, I feel like I've said it every time after credits, like but I've kept complimenting you, Kevin, for the right reasons, that you have done an incredible job of listening to us and following us, seeing where we like to be, seeing where we're leaning in, your callbacks, payoffs, all of that. There's choices we made in one that came back tonight.
Mhm.
But I don't think I've been giving the four of us enough credit too, because I think
Mhm.
all four of us have done a really good job of listening to each other.
Yeah.
And I really love that. And I really love, I don't think that would have happened if the four of us were strangers. I
Great.
think one thing that was pretty cool is that we all have played together before, maybe not one-to-one, but as a collective we have, right? And we had the ability to bail at any point, and we all threw boomerangs at each other. And we're like, oh, I guess that's true now. And we didn't violate that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Mhm.
goddamn cool, man. And I'm not surprised when Kevin says this is not how I thought it would end.
Yeah.
That does not surprise me in the best possible way.
Yeah, I had no expectations about how this would end. I couldn't have predicted this, but I will say that this whole mini campaign has been one long trust fall of a game,
100%.
and everybody caught each other every time.
Yep.
And I fucking love that for us.
Mhm.
Kevin, you have an extraordinary gift for a well-turned phrase. There were some things I actually wrote down specifically tonight as lines that I love. One was the specific acoustic misery of a place like this. I love that line. And you also said the altar was patient the way all true things are patient. And just I mean, I knew this when I heard the way you narrated your podcast, which everyone should go listen to, by the
100%.
way. But yeah, it's just, you're so evocative, and I love that.
Thank you.
Mine was, there's no clean answer.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I've never heard those two words together, and I love them.
I'm sorry, you saying love, the kind that sees everything and stays anyway.
That was another one.
Shattered my heart a little bit.
Jesus.
Although I have to say, the line of the night for me, possibly the line of the campaign, was "Who's forgiven you?"
Yeah.
That just knocked me dead.
Yeah.
And I think you'll take this the right way, Z. It's because it was so fucking obvious.
Yeah.
I was genuinely thinking about this for a while all of you were like,
Yeah.
this was not obvious to me. Like, this
Oh,
took me
it was
up until
beautifully-
the end.
It was beautifully obvious, right? Like when you said, I'm like, holy shit.
Why didn't any of us think of that?
Exactly. So fucking good.
And she didn't have an answer.
No.
Because I didn't have an answer.
Well, and honestly, that was kind of the deciding point for Riot. Because I had no idea what I was going to decide. So I was holding the ballot. But that moment was... Well, and it was something that I alluded to, like in my scene in the cell. Just how angry I was at her, but the thought of like forgiving her, like that she needed that. I thought it was just a fault of mine for being angry.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was why.
Well, and honestly, that took me aback personally, right? Because I've talked to people who've, had a loved one do that. And, the one thing that they say is, how could they be so selfish? And that comment wrapped all of that up. That was so real. So, and I so much enjoyed playing with you guys. I love, if you notice, we didn't roll many die. I mean,
I'm a
I
good
do
old
any
single
of this
die
game.
tonight.
And
Oh.
I love that. I love the collaborative storytelling.
Mhm.
But you can only do that with a group that,
Yeah.
you know, like you said, give and take. And this
And-
was some of the most fun I've ever had.
I gotta say, dice, like as weird as
Yeah.
it sounds for a tabletop game, I guess, but like
Mhm.
dice would have like not improved anything. Like
Right.
this
No.
was perfect without them. Like
Yeah.
we didn't need them because dice are
Mhm.
just a tool to help
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
narrate a story.
When
They're
we
not. If
don't
you,
know what the answer is
Mhm.
and we need help,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's when we turn to the dice. And at no point tonight did we need help,
Mhm.
which was really,
Yeah.
really cool. And I just had kind of a weird thought. And I'll be interested with this as experienced as the five of us are. So our instinct after, like, this was freaking amazing. Not the only amazing game that we've all
Mhm.
played, right? Like it'll
Mhm.
rank in us, so on and so forth. We've had many experiences like this, and
Right.
it's part of why we love this hobby, right? Is because this is, you don't get this from a movie, you don't get this from a board game, you don't get this from a video game. There's something that's very unique about people coming together the way this is.
Mhm.
And at the end of this, my first instinct is to go, we ended it perfectly. This was the right ending. But then I took myself and rewound a little bit to when Riot was walking with a mallet,
Mm-hmm.
and there was two multiverses that existed, which is the rock gets crushed and Flynn's head gets crushed.
I had a third one in mind that I was panicking that DK was going to do,
Me too.
was
which
the third
is
one?
she's just said, well, my vote doesn't matter. No, we all have to agree. And then the way you said,
Mhm.
oh, if you're dead, you don't get a vote.
Mm.
Thank you
Jesus,
for
I
not
didn't-
doing
I
that.
didn't even
Yes,
think
I
about
mean,
that,
that would have.
yeah, that yeah.
God.
Please, thank you for not doing that. Jesus Christ, God damn! Like I cried
Now
twice
that you
already.
say it.
Jesus,
Yeah.
God, dude, you're dark. You should.
I
you
don't
should
know if
run
that was
Relic
something
Cthulhu.
that had crossed your mind.
Never
DK.
even crossed my mind, and I
Mm.
don't know if I would have been okay. But so as a player, you know, when you have those unknowns, I'm like, okay, think about, stay in the moment. There's two things that might happen here, because I'm not dark enough to think of the third. And I decided, if Riot kills Flynn right now, I believe that choice.
Mhm.
So what will Tony do? And
Mhm.
the answer is, I was going to walk over there and put my head on the altar too.
Mhm.
I was debating that, but would have
Right?
crowded.
Once my head's spread around, it's not too bad. But then I think, okay, in that multiverse, we'd all still be having the same conversation right now.
Yeah. Mhm.
Which is, wow,
That was
how
awesome.
incredible was that?
Mhm.
And like that tells us like how cool this is.
Mhm.
It's not that we found the ending,
Right.
is that
Right.
we found a ending.
Mhm.
And any ending we would have found would have been honest because of what we're doing together and the trust that we have. And that's kind of fucking cool too.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Right.
not like we got lucky, right? That we didn't, it's not that we put our thumb in the choose your own adventure book and flipped back a couple pages, right? we just, wherever we were headed, but I think by episode 3, we knew wherever we were going to end
Yeah.
up was going to be fucking good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I have some like not stars and wishes, but like another thought is like that I noticed in the beginning is just, you know, like you said, Craig, it's like, oh, we have like a ranking of like where we
Mhm.
put games, and this is like as far like this is stands on its own, not like, oh, this is so much better than all the, like it has nothing to
So
do
different.
with
Right.
that. It just stands on its
Right.
own.
Yeah.
It was, I'm gonna have to like genuinely process this, and like I'm glad that I get to see like all of you, well, not Kevin, sadly,
Yeah.
hopefully
Sorry.
soon, but at camp, because I know I'm going to want to talk about this
I
after
can't
this.
wait.
Like we're
Mhm.
talking for a little bit, but like I'm gonna need to
Yeah.
talk
Mhm.
more about this probably.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I noticed, which was wild to me, like the beginning, like when you play yourself, when you are in the moment,
Mhm.
like I was expecting, like I'm not going to be able to hold it together. Like this is so
Yeah.
rough, and like if it's my turn, like I was like dreading it. It's like I'm gonna
Yeah.
like wall here.
I was. Yeah.
it was so much easier to be that person in the moment and then
100%.
be okay. But listening to everyone else's experience
Yes.
every
Oh,
single time, I couldn't look at y'all. Like I was like looking down in the same way how like you hear somebody like have like a really heartfelt, difficult discussion.
Yeah.
You don't want to look because you want to give them privacy, but you're still obviously
Mhm.
listening. Like that's that feeling. Like that's what that was. It's like holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, and I debated this last episode, right? Because at some point we were going to have to put things in order and figure out, what led to the final steps of Sherry. And yeah, this was as dark as I think I've ever gotten in a
When
game.
did you know, Kevin, that Scott said that to her?
I knew that pretty early on.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to say it.
Sure.
Mhm.
I knew that fairly. I had until 2 weeks ago. I didn't know how this was going to end. I didn't know if that was going to be a scene that the Godbinder's God threw upon us, or
Right.
what. But so Scott's
talk-
big problem
Sorry.
was that he said something that he wanted to take back, and he
Yep.
didn't have the chance because things ended that night.
Yep.
And so then what do? He's had 40 years to think about it, so
Yep.
he built this up. So, and it was
Yeah.
depressing. Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah.
It sure was. That's why we're here.
Kind of like real high school.
And water's wet.
Yeah. Yeah. But I
Um,
thank you guys so much. This was a lot of
Oh,
fun.
this was
Craig,
this was
thank you for the
great.
chance to do this. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
And
it's
so
pretty
I
damn
am-
cool.
I'm so glad, like a thought that kept occurring me the entire time, because it was like, especially towards the end, like I had no idea what's going to happen. And I was like constantly, I have the option of using the voice, which is if I roll high
Mhm.
enough over willpower, I get to
Yeah.
actually control another player. And we had talked about this, I think, before every episode and in the beginning, how we're
Yep.
okay with that. And like, that's
Yeah.
okay. I am so fucking glad I didn't have to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I was expecting it somehow, but then like it wouldn't have made like it was not necessary.
Yeah,
yeah.
and if we had wound up having to fight over going home or not, I think that is the ending that would not have been true, as Greg
I
says.
don't know if I
That
agree
doesn't
with
feel
you.
right.
I don't know if I agree with the two of you, because I have so much faith in this process with these people that I think we would have made it all land, and we would all be sitting here going, you know what, that was hard doing PvP and all that, but man, that was inevitable, and
It did-
that's
it
what
did not.
We
feel
were
right for me,
fighting. I'm
but-
sorry.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Were you not there, Craig? We were doing basically like mental PvP. like this was like.
so you want to talk about a moment where your character surprises me? The whole Drew is the strongest of all of us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That came from Tony.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
I
as it
love
was
that, though.
happening, I was like, oh shit.
Mhm.
Because I think everything that I said in character was 100%
Mhm.
Yeah,
fidelity.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I never had that thought before.
Mhm.
Never, and I love those moments where suddenly the character's like, hey, I got this.
Well, and something that was interesting is I didn't know Scott was going to just give up until like 5 minutes before we shut off.
So cool.
That was beautiful.
Because Scott had 5 cheats, right? Those 5 little fireballs that went around his wrist, and he could do anything with
Oh.
those.
Oh, I didn't even connect that.
Huh.
Wow.
And
Did not.
I think he was just so worn down after all of this. And he saw what you guys went through, and he's just,
That
It's
was
done.
poetry, by the way,
Mhm.
Kevin. Having him walk away looking like
Mhm.
Sherry, nobody was shocked that he was slouched in the chair and we got
Right.
back.
Yeah,
It
he
was
had to be.
very beautiful. That was really beautiful. That
Thank
was
you.
really good.
I'm gonna have to process like something. This is a weird thing. I don't know, like because I've never been in a situation where the characters felt so real to me.
Mm,
Like I cared so much, and it was also all of you playing, obviously. Like,
Mhm.
but you are not Tony. Like,
Correct.
like
Yeah.
you're not Tony, or neither is DK Drew.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's like I shared these moments now with these people, and I weirdly, it's now a part of me, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to arrange that in my head. It's a very cool hobby.
Yeah. It really is. It really, really is. It really is. And like a profession that fascinates me is acting. Like Meryl Streep acting, right? When they talk about that process and talk about being in the moment, this is my closest way of understanding that is, and it does not happen every game, every session. It is shockingly rare and fucking worth waiting for.
Yeah.
Where you are just there.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I can understand it. I listen to a lot of podcasts about acting, a lot of podcasts about screenwriting, because I think it helps me as a GM and a player to do those things. And they talk about letting go. And I feel like as a player and as a GM, I am getting better at being present when I stop and just trust and just react. And I think that's true as a player and as a GM. It's really freaking cool.
I used to do community theater when I was a kid, and I've always loved acting. But I used to always say that I liked it because I didn't have to be me for a while. I got to be somebody else. But over the course of getting into tabletop RPGs and playing games, it's become more apparent to me that, at least in this format, it's less about hiding, being somebody else, and it's more about the pieces. Like, I am not Drew. I do not react to things a lot of that way, but those honest pieces that come out, it's a beautiful way to process in a safe space.
100%.
I know that everybody put something real into this game.
I mean,
Tony wasn't whole cloth,
right? None of the things that happened to JJ in his youth happened to me, but you can see them from there.
That's a good way to put it.
And I've never murdered my family or set anything on fire, but there were bits of...
That's what you tell the authorities.
There are bits of Kevin and Scott, though. So.
That's very
Anyway,
very cool.
That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
We're drawing along. A couple things. One, we are dark all next week. For those of you that care, the three of you that care, because we're doing Camping for Gamers. I plan on documenting a lot of Camping for Gamers on the YouTube channel with shorts and things like that. I think it is and has become something very special. And my one hope for Camping for Gamers is that this is not the only Camping for Gamers that exists in this world. I hope that this inspires some of you to find something very similar, because what we have created with Camping for Gamers is something incredibly special for a lot of freaking people, and it's not unique to us. So check us out all next week. Watch for the videos and things like that, because it's pretty damn cool. And everybody here is going to be back on the channel very soon. Love you. Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.